Disclaimer, buckle up. This episode of Three Friends and All the Things is packed with foul language, inappropriate comments, and even some streaking. If that's your jam, then welcome to the circus. Let the shenanigans begin.
The Alpine racing, but Lindsey Vonn wiped out.
Yeah, I heard I was at my mother-in-law's. We were eating, well, it was kind of like brunch. And Jennifer got a notification, and I'm like, dude, you sure you look at the right thing? Because her practice runs we watched yesterday, she looked decent.
Yeah.
Did her knee give out, or she just hit something?
No, she hit the marker, and her pole hit the marker, and she got tangled up. So when she went up the slope, right? And it would have sent her, well, it did send her airborne because that's the part of the track that she was on. And she started to turn, and it almost looked like she was going to turn and go backwards. And as soon as I saw her body start turning, I was like, uh-oh. And then she just, and yeah, they had to airlift her, and she underwent surgery. They airlifted her to a hospital in Innsbruck, Austria, and she had surgery, and she's in stable condition. So.
Surgery on what?
She tore her ACL.
Oh, they did the surgery on the ACL this time.
Yeah. But this is after she tore her knee last week, and then I guess they put a titanium rod in, but now she had another surgery today after the accident.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Welcome to Three Friends and All the Things podcast, the show where filters go to die, opinions fly free, and laughter is basically a full-time job. They're not here to solve the world's problems. They are here just to make each other laugh and maybe learn a thing or two along the way. This is Three Friends and All the Things podcast, real talk for real people.
Welcome to Three Friends and All the Things podcast, where today we are going to talk about the Olympics, our favorite sporting events, and what is the difference between the Olympic athletes and our professional athletes. So, Dave, what has been the highlight for you? How much of the Olympics have you been watching, and what events are you tuning into?
So, we kind of watched a little bit yesterday, ice skating. My favorites are bobsled and curling are the two that I kind of get into. I don't know what it is about curling, but it reminds me of shuffleboard, and I love shuffleboard. So when I watch the curlers get out there, I get excited. I'm like, yeah, let's do it, baby.
Sweep the leg! Wait, wrong sport. Sorry, wrong sport. I got a little overexcited there. Sorry.
Yeah, I like bobsled and curling. I know they had curling yesterday, so I kind of missed it. It's tough when they have their difference of times, and you're like trying to keep up, and half the time you're getting notifications after the fact.
Right,
like,
right.
I didn't get to see that, or I didn't get to see this.
Yeah.
So you're like, we're playing catch up. But we watched Quad God yesterday. Jennifer loves the speed skating, figure skating. She likes all that. And she likes Johnny Weir, and it's the girl. They're announcers now, but they were Olympic gold medalists.
Oh, Tara Lipinski.
Yes,
She's
Tara Lipinski.
announcing,
The other thing is, too, how they kind of fit into the thing is what I was kind of...
They're old school, yeah.
Yeah,
they're old school skaters, yeah.
But they were on this season of The Traitors, which is a reality game show.
Okay.
I know you and I kind of briefly spoke about the reality TV type thing, but that's probably one that you and Joe would probably like if you watched it.
Traitors,
it's called. It's a game show.
You know who else is on there? You know who else was supposed to be on there? Mama Kelsey.
She was. She was eliminated the second or third episode.
Okay, I don't know anything about the show, but
you got to watch it. Watch season one. You watch it, you're going to be like, I'm telling you, that's a reality show, because I wasn't a reality TV. I know we're kind of getting off the Olympic thing, but I'm not into the Bachelor or Bachelorette type thing.
No.
I'm into Survivor and Jennifer got me into Traitors, so I watched the Traitors. Traitors is pretty good because that's like a mystery game.
Yeah.
Lying in deceit and all that stuff going on. So that's kind of, it's kind of cool. But anyway, but they're on that this season. But they are like, I get into I'm not as much a follower of the ice skating and those types. I like the more competitive stuff like hockey. I guess it's because I'm a guy. Like I get into the women's hockey, men's hockey, again, curling, even though it's kind of like, wishy-washy, but I watch it.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little curling,
And the luge and the bobsled and that I kind of get into that. And I watched a little yesterday. I watched the quad god. I kind of got into him a little bit because it's more of he's more like an individual. Right. When he gets in there and he starts doing all these crazy flips and shit, like I can dig that.
Yeah.
And I think in the difference of athletics, in my opinion, I think the athletes on the Olympic side of the ball are more, I think they work harder because there's no incentive other than a gold medal. Mm-hmm. There's I mean, they do get their advertising stuff that they get paid for, but the amount of money that they make compared to what these professional athletes are making is peanuts compared to what they're making. You know what I mean?
Well, the Olympic athletes are, I guess they're paid off of like sponsorships,
sponsorship,
endorsements,
yep.
Prize money for medals and things like that, where your professional athletes are going to go in and they're going to get a salary and they're playing, multiple games. I mean, if you look at, the Olympic athletes, they are training for a one-time thing. They're training, they put years and years of work into this, and they train for something that might be 2, 3, 4 minutes. And you better hope that you are on your game and you are bringing your A game, putting on the performance of your life. Whereas the professional athletes are playing, I don't want to say all year, but you look at a baseball player, right?
Yeah,
the
their
Phillies,
seasons
there's
are
162 games. They're doing it day in, day out, day in, day out.
Yeah, and the other thing aside of that too. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was saying the other side of them too is the fact that a lot of their stuff is team oriented, where these people are individual. You know what I mean? So like you said, they have to be more on their game for that 3 to 6 minutes or whatever it is they're doing, because that's their one shot. You know what I mean? Some of these competitions will go on in rounds, like a couple days, but that's it. And their stint of those couple days may be for an 8-hour day of being out doing stuff, maybe 6 minutes to 12 minutes of both days put together. So you're 6 minutes one day, 6 minutes the next, and their show's over.
It's more of a short, high pressure tournament type of thing. And they're trying to peak for a specific moment. Whereas the professional athletes, they're playing basketball games. I don't know how many basketball games are in a season. 162 baseball games. I don't remember how many hockey games there are in a season. You're going over and over and over, where the Olympic athletes they're training and they're spending a lot of money and a lot of time and they're putting in a lot of dedication for a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute stint that comes around every 4 years, if you are lucky enough to make the team.
Yeah,
if you're good enough, good enough to make team,
And they're practicing, they're working out for the 3 years straight just for that 1 year. Yep. And that 1 year, like you said, it might just be a small window of one day. Like you might be there for, let's just say they last a week long. And during that week, your day may be on a Wednesday, and then you're there supporting the rest of your Team USA or Team Russia or Team whatever you are, engulfed in. Yeah. You're going to support the rest of your teammates for the rest of the week. Like you said, you only have that one moment that you're out there, and that's a high. And in my opinion, it's more of a high pressure moment than these athletes that get paid millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Because
you're professional.
In my opinion, they're playing a game, a kid's game, and these athletes are. I don't even know how to explain it. I would like to link them as say they're not like workers out in the coal mines, or we call industrial athletes. I think these people are borderline industrial athletes because of the work and physical part of their job.
Yeah.
It's like crazy.
The Olympians are out there. The Olympians are out there. They're doing it for like their legacy. They're doing it for more personal based reasons. They're doing it for the pride of their country, where, the professional athletes are out there and they're doing it for contracts and money and and they want endorsements and sponsorships and all sorts of stuff. And that's just going to bring more money in. And I feel, I'm not saying that, if you're an Olympian, it's not going to lead to greater things, because most of the time it does. But I kind of feel like if you have to look at it, it's like the professional athletes are the rich people and the Olympians are the poor orphaned children, kind of like me and you, Dave,
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So I
when I started this thing with you guys, I had a daddy. My daddy left me.
But I'm not going to say that the maybe I should backtrack on this one. I don't want to say that the Olympians work harder than the professional athletes, but in a way I think they do, because, they're all out there giving it their all. They all want to win. Every single person, whether you're professional or Olympian, you want to win. But the Olympians, I think, really put their heart and soul into it, because it comes around once every 4 years and you have to be good enough to make the team. And then you have to be good enough to get the scores, whether you're doing it individually or whether you're doing it as part of your team score. You have to bring your all. And if you have a bad day, and
there's more
Lindsey
focus.
Vonn.
Yeah, there's more focus. And this is where my wrestling background kicks in, because I follow wrestling too during the Olympics. And you're your own team. I mean, you represent a greater, a larger piece of the pie when you're out there. Right. You're representing that large pie, but you're just a sliver of that pie, and you have to make sure that your sliver is strong enough that the other ones around you can build off of that. But if you're weak, you can't blame anybody but you. Right. There's no pointing the finger like in football or basketball or baseball or hockey. The only person you can look at is you. And that's what drew me to wrestling, because I didn't have to rely on somebody, dropping a ball, not getting a hit, costing me a chance of being great. Right. The only way that I couldn't be great is if I wasn't great. I didn't need anybody else's production or performance to make me look good. I went out and did my own thing. And if I had an off day, it's just like the Olympic athletes. If you have an off day that day, that's it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's look at Lindsey Vonn, for example, and what happened to her. So for those who do not know, she was favored, wasn't she? Wasn't she like, because I know there's a lot of talk around her. I think she was favored to win the gold medal. And she was the best. She's the best. She's the best of the best. Definitely elite. 41 years old, retired 6 years ago, decided to come back for her final Olympics this year, made the team. And she was favored, and everyone was like, she's gonna take the gold, no doubt. She gets ready. She goes out on her run. She's 13 seconds in. Her pole catches the marker on the slope, and she loses her balance and she crashed out, had to be airlifted off the mountain, and is now undergoing surgery again after she just underwent surgery a week ago for tearing her ACL. Now, with that being said, there are a lot of athletes who can play without their ACL, whatever. I think that's an individual kind of thing, whether or not you can do it. Yeah, what your body can do. So they put a titanium rod in her leg, and she was working out like a beast, and she was back on the mountain. She was doing her practice runs yesterday, and she was looking really good. She was looking really good. I saw a couple of her runs look really good. Like, she looked a little, you could see she was a little bit tentative, but I think she was more tentative because it was a practice run. Like, I think when she got to that moment, that she would have unleashed and just did it all, and whatever happens, happens. And I think that's what she did there. Like, she just unfortunately, she just caught the flag and went into and it just goes to show, all this training that she did for all of these years, and she wanted this to be her
not a comeback, but she wanted to make it like a big comeback in regard to her knee giving out a week ago. And she wanted to do this for personal reasons. It was where she won her, I think, like her first World Cup or something. Her mother passed away from ALS. And it was, I think, both of her parents are divorced. Both of her parents were there when she won. So this particular course had a lot of sentimental meaning to her, which is why she wanted to come back and do it. And it just goes to show, after years of training and you're ready and your big moment comes, it could just go up in flames in a second. And that's exactly what happened to her. And, I feel terrible that this did happen to her. It was awful. Seeing her go down like that and, having to watch her get airlifted off the mountain. It's very upsetting. It's heartbreaking. But like the old motto that they used to say for the Olympics, the thrill of victory and the tragedy of defeat. So unfortunately, these things happen. However, our girl Breezy Johnson ended up taking the gold. So, and Lindsey was very happy for her. Lindsey was like cheering her on in the helicopter, doing, making sure, that she was proud of her. She was just, not only is Lindsey an elite athlete, but she's a very good team player, good sportsman person.
And she deservingly so. She was second in that category as far as how they were, and without Lindsey coming out of retirement, but she was also considered the favorite before Lindsey got in. So yeah. I think in a lot of and that's the other thing too, like we look at these Olympic athletes of today, when we go to these other countries to do these things, we're the, the evil empire, so to speak. We come in, we have the most elite athletes for the most part. We're the best. When people look at us, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some events where other countries have athletes that are just better than us. But for the most part, our numbers on athletes in these events are a lot greater than these other countries. Like some of these countries only had one or two athletes when they did the opening ceremonies. I'm like, you see three come through and you're like, well, I see three. How come this is two? But then you look and it's the coach. The coach is walking behind.
Yeah.
So but it's crazy the amount our number was like, we had the most, and it was like 232 athletes to cover the entire Olympic trials, doing what they do. And I think it's, when I look at Olympians, I look at the fact that I can appreciate what they do more, because they're like normal people like you and I for the most part. You know what I mean? They're out earning livings. They have normal, some of them have normal jobs on top of the fact that they're out working out 100%. Every single day. 100%. They're not sitting back on a couch eating bonbons at a high class community and doing commercials every single day. So there's that part. The other part is too, like, they represent the United States. Like when they're going over there, they're representing our country. Like athletes in professional sports, they represent a city. And that's it. Yeah. 9 out of 10 times when they win, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but just by the way some of these guys, their attitudes are, like, I don't know that they care about winning a championship. I think for them, it's just like, let me cash out as quick as I can to get into retirement and enjoy the rest of my life.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I mean, there's a few that you do know that take pride in what they do and are constantly on the court. And they're usually like the greats. Like a Kobe Bryant, like a Michael Jordan in basketball, a Tom Brady, if we want to throw a name out there for football. Baseball, you have guys like Mike Schmidt and Nolan Ryan. Yeah. Wayne Gretzky of hockey, Mario Lemieux. These guys are on the ice 24/7. Even when they're not playing, they're out working. Kobe Bryant used to start at 6 o'clock in the morning, and he would practice until game time and then play his game. And then after the game, he would be on the court until 10, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. Still practicing after his game was over. Yeah. So, like, they're the ones that I think that represent more than just the fact that they need to pay a paycheck just to get through their, football players. They usually range, depending on their position, anywhere from 5 to 10 years. And then once that 5 to 10 year span's up, they're done. They're out. Yeah. Yeah. So
What is it about curling that you love? What is it about the luge? What is it about any of these particular sports that are your favorites for Winter Olympics? What is it
So
about them that like draws you in?
curling for me, because I'm a big cornhole horseshoe player, like in the summertime, and a lot of it is skill and strategy.
Okay.
And when it comes to competitive games, like, and I think that's what drew me to wrestling, because wrestling, it was very competitive, but it was also strategic. Like you always had to be strategically, coaches used to say a minimum of 3 moves ahead of your opponent. Now I used to want to be 5 moves ahead of my opponent. So you have to strategically set yourself up to win. And and that's what makes it even tougher, because it's not only physical, but it's mental. You know what I mean? And with curling is very strategic, because it's like playing shuffleboard. Like, that you have to score a certain amount of points, and if you have to be in them rings to get to those points, and you also have blockers that you got to get out of the way to get into that situation where you can score points. And then when you do score points, you try to protect those points. So for me, with curling, it's the strategic competition of it, because I also like, if it would be boring, but if chess were an event in the Olympics, I'd watch it, because I love playing chess, because there's strategic moves behind it. And and for me, that drives the competitiveness of me. Now, as far as the luge and the bobsled go, I love adrenaline. I'm an adrenaline junkie. So when you have that kind of a speed behind your body, and you're thrashing about down the ice.
Speaking of thrashing about the ice, did you see the video of the U.S. bobsled team today?
No, I missed that one. I'm going to pull it up though after you.
Yeah.
We didn't do. By your reaction, I don't think we did well.
We did not only not do well, but 3 of the guys didn't get into the bobsled.
Oh my God.
I am not even kidding you. So the driver, right? He gets in, and number 2, 3, and 4 are like trying to jump in the sled. And I think number 2 slipped on the ice. I'm not exactly sure what happened. It was like a domino effect. And so the only person in the bobsled that went down was the driver. The other 3 wiped out on the ice right before they got in. Yeah, it was bad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. So yeah.
That's the thing you're talking about. You have that small window of perfection. So
did Jamaica make theirs? I bet you they did. I bet Jamaica got in the bobsled.
Well, I'll tell you what drives me. Yeah, what drives
Jamaica
me
got
crazy.
in the bobsled.
What drives me crazy about Jamaica is the fact that
US.
They don't have any snow or cold weather to even relate to the sport. Like where they could practice.
But they still got in the bobsled, didn't they? Did the US? No.
I bet you they probably, ever since that movie with John Candy came out.
I can't even remember the name. That's it. Cool Runnings. That movie kind of gave me the love of watching bobsled, because to see people come from poor backgrounds, find an interest in something that, it's not a normal sport for them. What they would normally, like a lot of Jamaicans play baseball or cricket or stuff that their country pushes, you know what I mean? But to take even basketball, but to take bobsled and make a bobsled team out of a country that doesn't ever see snow. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know, without looking, I don't know where they finished, but I bet you any amount of money I wouldn't be surprised if they finished in the top 3.
Clearly they did better than us, because we couldn't even get in the sled.
Like, I cannot wait to see this video, because I'm going to laugh. It's probably hysterical.
Oh,
it probably looks like the Three Stooges.
I just sat there and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. Seriously? Like what? I'm like, is this even the race, or is this like practice? No, it was the race. It was the race. And yeah, one person got tripped up. Now, my other thing with the bobsled is, how do they all like fit in there? Like, do they all put their feet like on the outside.
Yeah,
Like, I'm confused. I don't know how they do it, but all I can tell you is that it's quick. It's a little weird. The luge, though, the luge is terrifyingly fascinating to me.
Yeah.
Terrifyingly
Yeah, that's me.
fascinating.
Those types of things, like even speed skating. What else did I really gravitate to? Like, I'm not a big snowboarder person, but just seeing the height that they're launching themselves off of, and
God.
the amount of speed
Yeah.
they're coming down, like that's the kind of things that draw me to those types of events because of the adrenaline rush.
I
Like-
saw a video, and it was, at first I thought maybe it was a GoPro, but now I'm wondering if it was some sort of like drone. I don't know exactly.
If you watch,
But it was a skier going
Yes.
down, doing the run.
Mhm.
And I'm like, oh my God. And it was like, you're seeing the course through the eyes of the skier. And I'm like, oh my God. And then
yeah,
when I was watching the Alpine racing this morning, you could hear the drone. It was like,
Yes.
meow.
if you
And I'm
looked at
watching in the
looked
corner.
at the film as they were coming down, when they
Mhm.
would make their turns, the drone was right behind them.
Mhm.
Like it would literally
Yeah.
fly out into the camera view so you could see it. Because I was
Yeah.
like, dude, how are they getting that angle? And then when I realized it was the downhill is when I noticed it more. But then when I watched the snowboarding, when they were coming down that cliff, the drone comes out of the side as they hit the certain spot right before the jump. And the drone is right over their heads as they're jumping.
Yeah. And I'm watching this, and I'm looking at the speed up in the corner of the TV. And I'm like, these Alpine skiers are going down this mountain at 74 miles an hour. What? Like, to me, that is just craziness.
Mhm.
And especially when you have to make those really sharp turns, like, and you're on the edge of the skis, and, and I'm like, oh my God. And then at one point it was around it was right around the point where Lindsey Vonn crashed, and they I think they were coming out of a turn, and there were like ridges in the snow, and you see their skis. It was like, and I'm like, oh my God, I would lose complete control, and I'd like flip and fly right off the side of the mountain, like, because that's just me. But the amount of control that they have, and how they can make these sharp turns, and they can overcome these like divots in the snow, and it is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. And I'm just so amazed and impressed and absolutely terrified to try any of these things.
Yeah, that's the other thing too about the Olympic athletes of, I say today, but any year the Olympic player went out and did something, the amount of knowledge of their event that they have to have, like even the figure skaters, like if you watch them skate, like Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir were kind of breaking down the quad gods jumps. And like we watched him last night, and he finished second to the kid from Japan. But when you watched him, like when you looked at his landings and they showed you the way his skates landed and how his blades turned, like even they have to have their blades coming down positioned a certain way. So when they land,
100%.
they can land smoothly. That's nuts. Like, that's why I have more of a greater appreciation for Olympians than I do the professional athletes, because again, it's a small window of perfection for them. It's literally 3 years of hard work for your 1 minute in the sun.
Yeah.
And they're not only do they have to be physically fit to do what they do, but their knowledge of their machines, whatever the machine is, whether it's a skate, a ski, a snowboard, a curler, whatever you want to call them, a mop head, whatever they use to smooth out the ice. Like, you have to know every little nook and cranny of your.
It's called a Zamboni.
What, the mop head?
To smooth out the ice.
Oh.
Oh, wait, are we talking about curling, or are we talking about
Curling,
like
not
an
hockey.
ice? Oh, the little broom thing.
Yeah,
Oh, I thought you meant like an ice rink.
Mop head. But,
I thought you meant the ice rink.
No,
sorry.
No.
Yeah. Okay. My fault.
No, it's all good. So yeah, the amount of knowledge of your equipment, so you can get that perfection in that minute. You practice 3 years, and it takes you 4 years to get back there, and you got to work your ass off to get back there. And it's not even a guarantee that you're going to qualify.
Right.
So, I mean,
right.
I can't I can only give what I've been accustomed to. And that work, I don't know the events, but I know wrestling, and wrestling's an event there. And I've done wrestling for a very long time. And I know the amount of work you have to put into it to be great.
Yeah.
And you got to be willing to, and I know as Olympians can attest to this. I don't know about the professional athletes. I don't know that they can. An Olympian puts their bodies through torture that no other man or woman in the world is going to want it, that a normal person would do. So you have to be specially cut to do those things mentally and physically in order to do what they do.
Mm-hmm.
So there
and,
is a big,
and the thing is like these athletes are starting out, right? So they start out doing whatever it is that they're doing, skiing, skating, snowboarding. And let's be honest, these are not cheap sports. Right?
No.
And they're not getting sponsored, right? So you're paying all this money, right, to train. You have to start early. So you have to start at a young age, because there are certain competitions that you will enter where there's an age bracket or an age cutoff that you may or may not qualify for, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to have the skill, which means you have to put in the practice, which means you have to have the money and the time to put into the practice, right?
Right.
Because if you're a skater, you have to rent ice time. Well, how much is that? And you're paying per hour. You have to get a coach. You have to get skates. You have to get blades, because your blades do not come on the skate. There are skaters who buy the boot, and then they go and they buy a special blade.
Yeah,
and then
it's not like a hockey skate. You can go out and buy a
Right.
whole hockey skate with the blade on it,
Right.
and then adjust the blades if they go bad.
Right. Then there's, how much is your coach going to be? How often
And they charge by the hour.
Right. So how often are you training? How many hours are you putting into this? Is your coach there the entire time, or are you maybe paying them for like a half a day, but you're
Right.
renting out the ice for a whole day, right? So this is all starting to add up. Then there's competitions. You have the entry fee. Then you have the costumes that you have to wear, right? So
Mhm.
all of this adds up, right? And a lot of times, people can't afford it, and people are mortgaging their houses, and in the hopes that this person is going to make the Olympic team. And then they get there to the Olympics. Are they going to do it? Or are they going to wipe out? Or are they going to come somewhere in the middle? Like you don't know, And
No,
so
you don't.
and it's a guessing game.
And that's
right?
why you could see the disappointment on their face when they do fail, because
Well,
they know
they
that the
said-
amount of work and time they put into it, it just.
They were saying last night when Ilya Malinin, quad god, when he came in second place behind the Japanese guy, right? They were like, first thing out of their mouth, oh, he's not used to that. He's used to winning everything, right? Okay, well, guess what? You didn't win everything, but you came in second. Okay. And look, there's no like sneezing at that, because coming in second is, he could have not placed at all. You know what I mean?
Right. And and
So-
you're not the only guy. You're not the only guy or girl out there. These other countries put in the time and effort just like you do. So
There's like
you
8
got
other.
to have that respect factor. If you lose,
Right.
do you
There's
pout
like-
about it? You sit there and cry about it? Because I'm telling you, if
Yeah.
you cry about it, they're going to see the lack of respect
As a sore
towards the
loser.
other.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh,
And
I
so-
should win everything.
Right.
No.
So there's like 7 other people, blah, 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 whatever. And so, he went out and he did not put on his best performance, but okay, fine, whatever. The Japanese guy was like flawless. I mean, he was amazing, as much
Yeah,
as
he
like,
was-
want
was
our own
so
people to win, but
Right. It was smooth.
he was awesome. Right. So then
Mhm.
I turn on today, right before we jumped on to do this podcast, I turned on today. And I think the first guy out for the men's singles was Italy. Flawless. And I thought, oh God, if we have to follow, not just us, but everybody in the competition today, we have to follow that. Oh my God. Like he set the bar high.
Yeah.
Right.
That's tough to come
And-
back to when that happens, because that puts a lot of
Mhm.
pressure on everybody else.
Right. So he set the bar high, right? So then they went out and they had, the next guy and the next guy, whoever, right? So then while I was waiting for you to hop on, Quad God came. And I'm like, I got to see this. And I'm thinking, Dave will just have to wait. I'll tell him I'm watching Quad God. That's fine, whatever, right? And it's like, 3-4 minutes, right? He gets out there and he's supposed to be doing, I think, like 7 quad jumps. And then I think just for shits and giggles, he may have thrown in an 8th because he can. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, as he's skating around and he's completed all of his quads, a couple triples thrown in there, then he's like skating and all of a sudden, there he goes, does a backflip.
That sealed the deal.
Finishes up his program, whatever. And I don't know if he's just the kind of person who just has no expression, or not. Like, I don't know, because the guy from Italy got done and he basically burst into tears on the ice. He was so excited, so happy. He was like in tears. He was like laying on the ice with his head in his hands. And he finally got up and then he did like what's equivalent to the Lambo leap over the boards, to his people. And then you have Quad God, who just did like this amazing, amazing program. And his face is like as serious as mine is right now. Like no expression, no nothing. And so he gets off the ice and he goes and he sits. And the guy who was in first place had 179 points. And they're waiting and waiting and waiting. And I'm thinking, I don't,
That was the guy from Italy, right?
It may have been. I can't remember because I was like focused on Elia's expression at this point. So I wasn't paying attention who was in what place, but the guy that was in first had 179 points. And then they're like, okay, come on, like, let's put the score up. And they flash and Quad God ended up with 200 point something, right? Like, that's a lot of points above, I mean, it's what, 11 points, but no, I can't do math. My math is not mathing.
What did you say? Yeah.
80, 179. So at 21 points?
21 points.
21 points, right? So
that's like a big gap on.
That's like massive. That is
one performance. Because usually
massive.
when you have that thing, it's maybe like, usually when you see those, and after watching yesterday, you only saw maybe the most I saw was a 5-point jump or a 10-point jump the most.
Right. But
21 points on one performance is crazy.
If that, because a lot of the times it's like maybe 2 or 3 points or, maybe like, tenths or hundreds, whatever. And he hit 200 point something. And I was like, oh my God, and Joe thought something was wrong. He thought that there was like, I don't know what he thought, but he thought that there was like something serious happening. And I, that it was like catastrophic the way I screamed. I had to go run in and tell him like, no, Quad God just got 200. And the person before him that was in first place was 179. And he was like, oh my God. He's like, that's like unbelievable. I'm like, I know. Yeah. And I couldn't help but yell, and I wasn't paying attention to the guy. I think there was one skater after him. And of course I didn't pay attention to it because I'm here doing this. But I would imagine that Quad God probably won the gold because he had the backflip and he is the only one that can do like a quad and then go into a triple something or other. And they said he's the only one in the world that can do this, or the only one in this competition that can do this.
Yeah, and when you're the only one that can do something, it makes it nearly impossible to be beat. The only way you can be beat is if you mess it up. Mm-hmm. But if you pull it off and land it perfectly, you're going to win. It's just the way it is. I mean,
I'm also noticing a lot of acrobatics. So Quad God did the backflip. I've seen a couple of skaters do cartwheels during their performance. I didn't think these things were allowed, but I guess they are, because there was a girl, and I can't remember if it was like, it was a while ago. It was like the 90, 94, 98, something. It was like back in the 1900s. And she was from France. And I think her name was Surya Bonali. And she was this French skater. And she did a backflip during her program. And I think she got disqualified for doing that, because back then you weren't allowed to. Before, and now I'm seeing a lot of these acrobatics. I didn't know that they were allowed to do that, but I guess they are.
After time, if that was a disqualification back then, it's usually because there wasn't a lot of people that could do stuff like that on the ice.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that's like, they call that like the added edge. Like some athletes will go out and take steroids, and if they get away with it and they win, nobody, no harm, no foul, because they won't caught. Well,
right.
They're extremely different. But if she had that edge back then and nobody else could do it, the Olympics probably said, "No, we're not. You can't use that. You can do other things, but you can't do that." Well, as time goes on, it's just like everything else. Like the athletes get better, get stronger, get faster. They become more durable, and they also start to become more agile and do other things to increase their chances. So just like every other sport, the Olympics said, okay, well, we have to start to allow these things to start to take place because it's becoming part of a lot of the routines. Yeah. So they do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I saw him do a backflip yesterday. I honestly thought that would have propelled him into first place. But when they broke it down and showed his landing, he was a little off. His weight was back a little bit when he landed, so he was a little off balance. A couple of his takeoffs on his quads, when he landed with his front of his skate was kind of jerked a little bit. So in order for him to be smooth, he kind of was like rigid, and then he started out rigid and then broke smooth because he recovered from it. But those are the kinds of things that take points off, that can make you or break you. Yeah. And the way those judges are, dude, the judges are nuts. Like, I guarantee you, like, I don't, maybe I'm speaking out of basically on opinion, which I am, but I think, I personally think that a lot of these judges hate us that much that they don't want to see us win. And the only way we'll get,
it's possible.
The only way we get that strong vote, I'll probably get ridiculed for that. I don't care. I just feel that way. But the only way you can defeat that mindset from a judge is to just go out there and be drop dead the best.
Yeah.
To where they can't say no. They're like, what? But if you give them something, it's like I used to tell my wrestlers when I coached, there'd be a close match and they would lose. And the ref was terrible. And they'd be like, well, the ref was horrible. He may have been horrible, but how you beat a bad ref is that you take him out of the equation. And how you do that is you be flawless. You outscore your opponent to where if the ref makes 3 bad calls, it doesn't affect your game. You're still coming out on top. But if you're going to drag your feet and not be aggressive that day and decide you're going to take a minute or 2 off because you don't feel like giving forth the effort, then don't complain about the official.
Right. Because
the official's having a bad day. You decide you're going to have a bad day. Well, it's only going to get worse.
Right. So, and the hard thing, like whether you're an individual or whether you're in a team, like, you have the pair skating, right? So now it's not just you, it's your skating partner, right? And there's lifts and throws and all sorts of like twirls.
And you got to be in sequence. You got to make sure your timing's right.
So not only do you have to be, you have to be synchronized. If one falters on a jump and the other doesn't, they're going to take points, and the commentators are so good. Like these, to me, the jumps all look the same. Honestly, they all look the same. I know you go into them a little bit differently, but to me, they all look the same.
Yeah, they do.
The commentators are like, oh, that's triple axel. Oh, that's a double toe loop. Whatever, right? Whatever. You did a jump. You spun around.
That's a triple Lindsey.
You landed. Yeah, yeah.
Rodney Dangerfield did a triple Lindsey off the board and back to school.
Exactly. Right.
Lindsey.
So,
or the triple
they all Lindy. Yeah, they all look the same to me, right? You go out there, you do it. That's all great. Whatever. You sit, you're spinning around, you're not getting dizzy, whatever, right? And it's phenomenal. But then you have the element of your skating partner. And you better make sure that you are timed correctly, you're synchronized, that you are where you are supposed to be, because one false move of that skate, that blade is going to slice you and gut you like a fish. Like, and you've seen it happen. You've seen.
Yeah. What about, speaking of that, how about these lifts they're doing where they're putting their skates on your bottom person's legs and they're standing on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm like, how does that not hurt? Like, I'd be like, let's think about this. And I know you're 90% of the time, you're usually putting the female on top of the male. So, because obviously in situation, the females are smaller, so they're lighter. So when you pop them up there,
No,
they're
but
not as
I
heavy.
would love, now that you've said that, I would love to see a female lift a male skating.
I've seen it, but not in the state of, I've seen
That
it
would
in
be interesting to see. Anyway,
a skating throw where they're taking their weight and throwing their weight from one skate to another.
Yeah, that's different.
I've seen that.
But I'd like to see a female like do the lift, the one-handed lift, and and have the guy up there like, oh yeah, hi, waving. That would be something. That would be something. I'll tell you. That would be something. I would die if I saw that.
I don't want to say what I want to say because I don't want to get Jay's podcast kicked off.
Yeah, well, No, but you're right. They did it today where the girl was standing and she had her blades on the guy's thighs. Now, maybe because I noticed one of the girls, it looked like she had on like tan biking shorts, and then she had her stockings on over top of that. And at first, I happened to catch it on an angle when she was going by, and I thought, is she wearing like some sort of like a brace? And then I realized, like, after they showed another angle, you could barely see it. You could very faintly see the line on her thigh where it looked like she had some sort of like flesh colored like biking shorts on and then her stocking. So I'm wondering if the guy has some sort of like padding on.
I was going to say, maybe they're wearing,
maybe.
Because I know, like, my daughter, when she played softball, they used to wear sliding shorts underneath their pants. So when they slid, their butts would be protected and their thighs would be protected. So maybe there is some type of padded shorts, like
maybe
hockey shorts, where they got pads on their thighs. So when they do stand on them, I mean, I would still think, like, even that, like, okay, you're protecting the person's skin so they're not getting cut. Because when the girl leaps off, or if you have to do something off of that, and that skate rubs across your thigh, you're not getting cut. But what kind of material of pants are you wearing? How's that not cutting?
Right. So I'm sure.
Is that a Kevlar outfit? Are we wearing Kevlar on the Olympic ice?
You never know.
Because you can't cut Kevlar with a blade.
Maybe.
Just
never know.
Thought.
Kevlar skating costumes brought to you by Kevlar. You're Kevlar. In case someone steps on you with a blade, or in case someone brings a gun
advertising
into
Kevlar now?
You didn't let me finish my stupid ad.
I'm sorry.
Kevlar outfits. Wear them in case someone decides to step on you with an ice skating blade, or whether someone tries to shoot you in the leg and knock you out of the competition. Brought to you by Kevlar costumes. Okay. That was kind of...
Oh, don't forget, Axe and Arrow beer. Glassboro.
This podcast brought to you by Axe and Arrow Beer, located on High Street in Glassboro. Stop in and get your craft beer. From what I hear, it is amazing and like no other. So please stop in to Axe and Arrow Brewery, located
Check
in
out their sales rep, Ed.
Yo,
Ed!
Yes.
Ed's the man.
Please go and check out Axe and Arrow Brewery. Also, I wanted to make one actually, you know what? I will do it after our closing thoughts. So,
okay.
Dave, what are your closing thoughts about the Olympics and these what do you think?
I'm excited. I like watching the medal counts to see that, hopefully that the United States is dominating the way we're used to dominating. And there's been times where we haven't, but for the most part we do. And I appreciate the long, hard days that these people put in and from their everyday lives, but some of them have families, they have kids and wives and husbands that aren't participating Olympians. So those parts of the family make sacrifices too.
Yeah.
So I give them a lot of credit for having the patience and being good partners, to allow their significant others to participate and chase their dreams. But I also think it's, as an Olympic athlete, looking at the way that they carry themselves and how they have so much love and appreciation for our country and love and appreciation for their sport, and how they support the other country's athletes, even when when we don't perform up to where we're supposed to, or they get outperformed, that most of them are very good sports. They go up, they hug the other person that won, and they're always in support of each other and others on, during that time. So
Right.
that shows, in my opinion, the type of athletes all athletes should be, even the ones that do get paid millions, should show more appreciation. I think when it comes to having money involved, it takes away from the appreciation for the sport. So the fact that our professional athletes, not our Olympians, but our professional athletes, I believe in every sport, and I love every one of the sports to an extent. I think they're overpaid, and I think if you took some of that money away, their work ethic would be better. If you based their salary on what they did, not who they were, and on a day-to-day basis versus, I'm going to pay you, $8 million a year and you haven't even performed yet.
Yeah.
And then when they're having a bad day, and we as people going out to watch them, spending our hard-earned money, because in all honesty, I had this conversation with my son. The reason these athletes are getting paid what they're getting paid, we're their bosses.
Yeah.
Because without us, they're watching. Who are they performing for?
Right.
Who's paying them? And then he would have the opening day. Well, the owners are paying. Yeah, well, who pays the owners? Because the owners are everything we buy: tickets, jerseys, food, drink, parking,
all of it.
Everything that you purchase when you go to a game. All that money goes to the owner.
Yeah.
And the athletes get a portion of that. So not only are you going there to keep them going, you're also spending the money on their stuff to keep them going. Where Olympians, they get their incentives, they get their commercials, their sponsors that they get, but their sponsors come to them after they put on the show and have done what they've done.
Right.
Not as rookies, because when they come in as a rookie, it doesn't matter. It's just like the quad god. He wasn't the quad god when he first came in. He was just another teenager pursuing a dream. A lot of these rookies that come in into the professional sports, they're getting paid millions of dollars before they even stepped on a professional field.
Right.
So I think the appreciation, to sum up for me, I could appreciate the Olympians more than the professional athletes because of the work they put in and how genuine how they are as people.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think in summary, I think I think there's definitely more appreciation on the Olympians' part. I think there's a lot of team playing when it comes to the Olympics. I think everybody seems to come together and they pretty much don't worry about what's going on in the rest of the world. There's really no animosity. Each country is helping the other countries, with the US bobsled team or bobsled, captain, driver, whatever you call him, he ended up going down by himself. He scrambled very quickly to get back to the brakes, and all of the other countries that were at the bottom of the hill jumped in to help him stop the bobsled. So that was really nice to see, everyone kind of jumping in to help him and, console him and, just, let him know everything was okay. You see other countries cheering other countries on. They're making friends in the Olympic Village, and, everybody just kind of forgets all the negative stuff going on, and they're just kind of focused on the sporting events and what's going on inside the world of Olympics. You see a lot of team playing, you see a lot of cheering, a lot of support, and it's really sad when you have the likes of Lindsey Vonn, who crashes out after training so hard, but there she is with this really good attitude about, hey, you know what? I'm going to cheer on my teammate, even though I'm injured and this is my last run and whatever. It's just nice to see everybody kind of come together and not
the agony of defeat.
Yeah. Yeah, the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. So on that note, from Three Friends and All the Things, we would like to wish you a good upcoming week and days ahead. Also, just a quick announcement that I know in the East Coast, the weather is getting awful. So please make sure you have, you are outfitted in your vehicle in case of an accident. Make sure you have a blanket, gloves, coats, scarves, extra socks, have an emergency go bag in the car, water, please, a full tank of gas. Please make sure you are ready. And if you have to, for whatever reason, have to get towed or you're stuck on the side of the road, please stay in the vehicle. It is too cold. Do not go anywhere. Just stay safe out there. And from Three Friends and All the Things, be safe, keep it real, and remember who you are.
Go Birds.
Seahawks. It's still a bird. It's still a bird.
We got Seahawks, we got Jay Bird, and we got the Birds.
Bird squared.
Jay Bird?
Bird is the word. Bird is the word.
He'll cut this. He'll edit this out.
Thanks for listening to the show. Be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. See you next time on Three Friends and All the Things podcast. Real talk, real people. New episodes drop every week, so hit follow, leave a review, and tell your messiest friend to listen to. You know the one I'm talking about. Until next time, keep it real, keep it loud, and keep doing all the things.